You got that flag handy?
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance
against the flag
The United
to
States
the United States of America,
of Republic,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McConnell,
Here.
Commissioner Baldwin,
here.
Commissioner Heidemann,
Here.
Commissioner Dunn,
Here.
Commissioner Rushing, Commissioner Greatop,
Here. Are there any
Bohm.
additions, deletions to the agenda? I'm sorry, Bohm's not here.
Got it.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion, support, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Minutes of 7:16 and 8:6:20.
I would make a motion to approve and file the minutes of 7/16/20 Commissioners meeting and the 8/6/20 Standing Committee meeting.
Support, Baldwin.
Heidemann. Oh,
Okay,
whatever.
motion, support, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No proclamations, consent agenda items A through F. I won't read all of them. If whoever makes the motion wants to read them, it's up to you.
I would make a motion to approve items 7A through 7F on the consent agenda.
Support. Dunn.
Okay, we have a motion, support. Any one of those items you want to pull off and talk about? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Reports of standing and special committees. Commissioner Rushing, let's start with you.
I lost him.
Dave?
He froze.
All right, let's forward.
Nothing reported this time. Thank you.
All right, good. Commissioner Dunn.
No, sir, nothing tonight.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Nothing tonight.
All right, McConnell.
I'll take a pass tonight. Thank you.
I also am going to take a pass. Commissioner Rushing, can you hear us? Will you ask him if he wants something? Please.
Absolutely.
Howard, you look very robotic tonight.
Robotic?
Yeah, like you're plugged in.
Gary, do you need a
$6
couple
million
minutes to line
man.
up?
I am plugged in.
Your guest speaker? Gary,
Yes.
you have a couple minutes to line up your guest speaker? That's coming up next.
IT will do that. We do have a citizen that wishes to address the board this evening.
Okay, Georgia, how'd you make out?
Yeah, Dave didn't have anything to report, but he was going to try to get better connectivity in another room.
Okay, if he cannot do that, let's sit him next to either you or Greg or somebody else and just use one computer.
Correct. Yep.
You won't get feedback that way.
Yes, I offered it up to him.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
All right, Terry, go ahead and get us our citizen wishing to address the board, please.
We do have one citizen that requested to address the board this evening. It is Steve Williams.
I think I'm back.
You're back.
Steve, are you there?
I am.
Okay. You may address the board.
Okay. Hey, good evening, commissioners. My name's Steve Williams, address 6211 Clover Road in Marine City. I am a former commissioner myself for 12 years in a nearby county, so I appreciate you making this available, even with the challenges right now. But I also understand that your role is budgeting and that the prosecutorial and sheriff's departments have their own countywide elected officials. However, I was the victim of a robbery on December 20th, and nothing has ever been done. If you want to look up the complaint number, it's 1900-426-90. And the deputy did come out and did interview the perpetrator. The perpetrator admitted to breaking into the house through a window. I only lost $115 in brand new Christmas gifts that happened to be stored here, but the homeowner lost far, far more than that. And I am extremely disappointed that there have been no charges filed for this break-in. And the only thing I can conclude is that because the perpetrator is the child of a sheriff's deputy, that it's being ignored for that reason. And so I'm going to ask that as you go through your annual budgeting process, that you allocate some additional money for training for the sheriff's department and prosecutor's office for some ethics training, and ask that the crimes against citizens in St. Clair County be prosecuted the same way they would be in another county. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, did somebody grab a couple of those numbers? Carrie, did you get some of them?
I did. I wrote all that down.
Okay, good. I've got it also if you don't have it. All right, good. Thank you. Any other citizens wishing to address the board, or is he the only one?
That was the only one we received.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, there's no unfinished business, so we're going to jump right into new business. Item A, approval of county disbursements for July of 2020.
I would make a motion to approve the July 2020 county disbursements, the amount of $19,635,446.
Support.
Motion, support, discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn. Commissioner Rushing.
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann. Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. That it?
Yeah, did we get Heidemann there? I thought I,
Yeah, you got him.
Howard, you were yes. Yep.
Howard, you're muted again.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Item 11B, 2020 budget adjustments.
I would make a motion to approve the proposed 2020 general fund budget adjustments.
Rushing.
Okay, we have a motion to support. Discussion.
Carrie, do you think, is this going to get us through the remainder of the year, do you feel?
So the budget adjustments that were presented this evening have more to do with grants and different items. It does not have any of the impacts of the COVID-19 or any of our CARES funding in it yet, since we don't have confirmation of any of those funds.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Anything else? All right, roll call.
Commissioner Rushing. Commissioner McConnell.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn. Commissioner Baldwin.
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. Moving on, item C, 2020 Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act grant, known as CARES.
I would make a motion to approve the 2020 Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act grant for the airport in the amount of $69,000.
Second, Heidemann.
Okay, Jay, did you get the second?
Yes.
Okay, discussion on that from anybody? That's just a grant that we received. I don't think we need a roll call, do we, Jay?
No.
All in?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Item E, contract approval request, Intrado Life and Safety Solutions Corporation.
I would make a motion to approve the equipment upgrade and maintenance agreement for central dispatch with Intrado Life and Safety Solutions Corporation in the amount of $469,880.25 for a 7-year term.
Support Rushing.
Okay, motion to support. Everybody understands, if I read that correctly, we're gonna front that money out of, capital improvements. And when the grant comes through, it will be replaced back into capital improvements. Am I right, Carrie?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, everybody understand how that's working, right? Okay, let's go to the roll call.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn, Commissioner Heidemann, Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. Item E, contract approval request for LL John's Aviation Insurance.
I would move to approve the agreement with LL Johns for aviation general liability insurance for the airport in the amount of $30,000 for a term of 9/20/2020 through 9/19/2023.
Second, Heidemann?
Okay, we have a motion to support. Discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Heidemann,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. Item F, the fiscal year 2021 traffic enforcement program grant application.
I would move to approve the fiscal year 2021 traffic enforcement program grant application in the amount of $39,028.
Support, Dunn?
Have a motion to support. Discussion.
This is something that we get, that we apply for every year. So,
What's the number this year, Greg? 39,000?
yeah, 39,000.
Okay, it varies up and down, but this year it's a little higher than last, but not as high as we have been.
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion on it? Roll call. No, that's just a grant. Go ahead. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item G is the Goodles Event Marquee.
I'd move to award a contract for the construction and installation of an LED event marquee sign at Goodles County Park in an amount not to exceed $100,000.
Second, Heidemann?
Okay, we have a motion and a support. Discussion. I will just throw out there that I believe this has been in the works for almost 2 years. Howard, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's correct.
Okay, so finally, yeah, we're trying to get this stuff all wrapped up before I leave, guys. We're gonna take care of
Okay.
everything. All right.
Get that part going down in Clay Township for you.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. Item H, Library Board reappointment for William Foster.
I would make a motion to reappoint William Foster to the Library Board representing District 5 for a 5-year term expiring 8/26 of 2025.
Support Rushing.
I have a motion and a support. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, North Channel Building Redevelopment Analysis.
I would make a motion to award a contract for the North Channel Building Redevelopment Analysis to William Vogan Architects for an amount not to exceed $7,800.
Second, Heidemann?
Motion and support. Discussion, gentlemen and lady.
Is there a time frame on it, on when it has to be complete by?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know if Mark is on to speak to it.
What's your question referring to, Georgia?
Just timelines.
Okay.
It's included in a contract. There's not to exceed or not a not to exceed amount, but also a time frame not to exceed amount.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Good point.
Roll call.
Commissioner Heidemann,
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. Item J, private hangar lease renewal with Souden.
I would move to approve the private hangar ground lease renewal for Lot H, 246 Airport Drive with Stephen Souden in the amount of $32,400 for a term of 1/1/2020 through 1/31/2050.
Support.
Okay, have a motion, support, discussion. These are pretty much routine, I think. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody else in favor? That's two so far. Anybody
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Wake up, boys and lady. Item K, public safety and public health payroll reimbursement program application.
I would move to approve the Public Safety and Public Health Payroll Reimbursement Program application pack with the Michigan Department of Treasury in the amount of $3,949,794.20.
Second, Heidemann.
Okay, discussion on this. Anybody need a clarification on any of it?
We'd just like to be very clear that we're going to get this amount. We want that amount.
Stand up comment today, how about it?
Carrie, when are these, maybe this is best for Carrie. Do they have a timeline too on when they'll make the decisions on these applications?
I believe we should know by the end of September if we are approved for these funds. This application was already submitted because it was for actual payroll expenses for April and May, and it is no match, and there was a due date in July.
Was this the one that it didn't have, or you'd be approved for an amount, you would put the total, you may get some, or was this the one that was all or nothing?
So everybody that applies for this grant will receive something. It depends on how many applicants apply, and then they will prorate it based on the funds they have available. They did extend the application deadline from the original amount, so we have not heard, what that funding ratio might look like yet.
Thank you.
Is it? Mine was too.
Thank you.
May I lost the
Yeah, I think
Temporary
Commissioner Graytop might be frozen.
He's not blinking or anything.
Did we have a motion and second on this, Jay?
no, not yet.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We have a motion and a second. We didn't have a voice vote taken on it, so either we can wait for Bill or whoever would be the next in charge. I don't know if that's Howard as Sergeant of Arms or if there is a.
I think it's Dave Rushing.
Oh,
This
perfect.
time,
Ways and Means Chair is third in line.
Okay.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Hey, look, there's Bill.
He's back. You're muted.
You hear us, Bill?
Coming in now, hang on.
There you go.
I
You're
think you're back.
You got me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
Agenda item K.
I just had to reboot
Oh, I'm
everything.
sorry. L.
Yep, we're on to item L.
We did, yeah, we're just starting with L now. Did we do, you did,
Motion K passed, Bill. Going to
Passed by
L.
voice vote.
all right, let's go to L. The retired Coast Guard Station roof replacement.
I would make a motion to award a contract for the retired Coast Guard Station building roof renovations to Mayim Enterprises Incorporated in amount not to exceed
I
$65,000.
don't hear Greg McCown.
Second, Heidemann.
I can, but you can't.
Okay, looks like we're all set on that. Any questions or discussion?
Just to say that,
None, let's do a roll call vote on that.
Hold on, Howard had a comment there,
Oh, go ahead.
Commissioner.
That's all right. It's just nice that we're starting to secure the last of the buildings there. And obviously you got to protect start at the top with the roof and then you can move inside and do the renovations at your leisure.
All set, Howard?
Yes.
All right. Roll call.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann,
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. Item M, agency agreement with the Health Department and Yale School District for nursing services, Yale School Nurse.
Would move to approve the interagency agreement between St. Clair County Community Mental Health and the Health Department and Yale School District for a school-based physical and mental health service for a term of September 1st, 2020 through the August 30th, 21 in an amount of $100,000 annually.
Support Rushing.
All right. Discussion, anybody? Jay, do we need a roll call on that?
Yeah, it should.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Commissioner Heidemann, Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Commissioner McConnell,
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Graytop.
Yes. Item N, reclassification request, Deputy Administrator Controller duties.
I would make a motion to approve the reclassification of Deputy Controller Finance Director position to just Finance Director and the Planning Director position to Planning Director, Deputy County Administrator.
Document?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Carrie, you want to jump in there?
Sure. You know, with the vacancy we've had several months ago, it's always time to reevaluate job duties and what people do. And the planning director for St. Clair County, I think, acts in a capacity much different than traditionally in other counties. Our planning director is involved in so many external projects, economic development, and very involved with all the other community agencies and local units of government. So it seemed like a natural fit to have that person assume the deputy roles, should act in my absence versus having that finance piece of it.
I think
So
it's
that's
a good idea.
Okay, go ahead.
I like it.
That's it.
Any
Okay, anybody-
questions?
Anybody else have any questions for Carrie? I don't believe this was on our committee meeting, so this is the first we're seeing it.
Yeah, that is correct. I was waiting, Human Resources was gathering the wage information to make sure that both positions were properly placed based on the new job duties.
Okay, I know it was on our agenda as we got it last Friday, so we've had a chance to look at it. Any other questions for Carrie? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item O, the fiscal year 21 County Veteran Service Fund Grant Letter of Intent.
I would move to approve the letter of intent to apply for the fiscal year 21 County Veteran Service Fund Grant.
Baldwin, support.
Okay, I have a motion and support. Discussion. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's go to administrator's report. Carrie, what have you got for us?
I have a couple things for you this evening. The 10th Avenue property that we discussed within the last 2 months, I have a draft agreement that has been reached with the county and the city of Port Huron that we will be presenting to you in September for the transfer of that property. Mr. Freed will be available at our September committee meeting to discuss the project and answer any questions commissioners may have. Our medical examiner office renovations, they are on track and they are currently within budget. you know, we don't have a firm completion date or an estimate just because stuff is so fluid with the COVID situation. However, things are looking good and that project is still on track. Couple animal control updates. Next month, you will see a proposal to update the security system in that building. We have been systematically upgrading the security systems in each building, and this is one of our last facilities that has not received an upgrade. So that will be coming to you next month for your approval. And tomorrow I will be conducting second interviews for the director position. I conducted first interviews last week. We had an excellent group of candidates, so I'm hopeful that we will be able to fill that position very soon. There was earlier this week, or maybe it was the end of last week, we were informed that there is actually going to be a third round of CARES funding that is available to us from the state. This funding will actually replace our August revenue sharing payment. Unfortunately, our revenue sharing payment we can use for whatever we want. However, the CARES funds are restricted in their use, in that the federal act does specifically say it can't be used to replace lost revenues. That being said, though, we should receive at least the amount we would have received in revenue sharing and possibly a little bit more. But these funds have to be put not in the general fund, but per state guidance, they should go in a separate special revenue fund. So we will be moving expenditures over there, but we're still waiting on a little bit of guidance and how much we can expect to receive. 2021 budget process is currently underway. Unfortunately, it's a little bit stalled because the state has not adopted their budget yet. The governor has indicated that, you know, she's counting on federal funds to help balance their budget, but without that, we may see some significant reductions in our revenue. So we're kind of on hold. The latest article I read said they had a revenue estimating conference again next week, and they hope to have a budget by the end of August. So I guess stay tuned for more information on that. And on the heels of the 2021 budget, the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission did approve our budget request for next year. That includes increased staffing for our public defender's office. Our initial submittal was not approved and we had to roll back our staffing even though we knew it wasn't going to be adequate. So they did approve 2 additional attorneys and a custodian position for next year. However, without the state budget approved, it's still contingent on the state budget being passed. However, it is good news that the MIDC approved it because we did have several back and forths last year to get our budget approved, and it was approved the first time. That's all I have for this evening, unless you have any questions.
How many public defenders do we have at the present time?
We are budgeted for 12, and then we will be adding 2 more, but we do still have a vacant position or 2 that we're in the process of filling. Everything
Okay,
kind of slowed down because of COVID a little bit, the hiring process.
Any other questions for the administrator? Anything else from anybody? How about
We
a,
accept the administrator's report as provided.
Support.
have a motion to support? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Any miscellaneous business to come in front of the board? Okay, how about a receive and file?
So moved. Done.
Second, Rushing.
Okay, we have a motion to support to receive and file. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're going to go into collective bargaining negotiations. So if somebody will make that motion to go in
I
there
would-
and then adjourn thereafter.
I would move that we go into closed sessions for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining negotiation strategy and to adjourn immediately thereafter. Support. Done.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion to support to go into collective bargaining. Any discussion? And then we will adjourn immediately thereafter. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I guess we're done. See you in the collective bargaining room.